Alright, what is going on guys? It's Tazz here and welcome back to the channel. Earlier this week, we finally received our first trailer for another brand new DC Universe film, that of course being Blue Beetle. From what has been said by James Gunn, this movie will be the first in our post-Flashpoint reboot and rebrand of the DC Universe. This time around, however, it seems as if we are stepping into a pre-established and lived-in continuity, which is a welcome change. Being completely transparent, I'm not quite as familiar with the Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle character in the comics as I am for other DC characters. Most of my knowledge comes from Young Justice and various other animated projects where he's appeared in. So I was really excited when they announced a lesser-known character that isn't always front and center would be the jumping-off point for this first chapter of new DC film content. Can't wait to learn more about Jaime leading up to the film's release in August, and excited to see what Xolo brings to the role, as I did love him over on Cobra Kai. So with that said guys, let's just scarab glide right into this trailer breakdown. The trailer kicks off introducing us to the title character, that of course being Jaime Reyes, before his life is forever changed when he bonds with the alien Scarab. Through this introduction, we get a good feel for the tone and atmosphere as it captures that big fun summer blockbuster feel, filled with tons of humor, action, and effects, while also slowing down at times to build up certain characters and the relationships between them. From these opening shots, we also get a glimpse at some of the camera work and how shots will be framed through the film. I'm a big fan of the look so far, and really glad that they have gone with a much brighter and more vibrant color palette here, which really makes everything just pop on screen. Too many movies and even shows nowadays decide to go with a washed out, drab look for things, so it's definitely a nice change of pace when a filmmaker chooses the more colorful route. Jaime's family will play a big role in the story as well, since they are present when he first bonds with the Scarab, and it appears that they will be helping him out quite a bit along his journey, learning his powers and fully taking up the mantle as the next Blue Beetle. In a slight change-up from the comics, Jaime's hometown will be a location created specifically for the movie with Palmera City, which we get a great nighttime skyline shot of, further embracing that vivid color scheme. Skip to Cord Industries, which if you are familiar with the comics would know is the company of the second holder of the Blue Beetle mantle, that being Ted Kord. The original Blue Beetle, Dan Garrett, was an archaeologist who discovered the Scarab and became the first to hold the mantle. After his death, Ted Kord would carry on the torch up until his death or disappearance, which leads us to the Scarab choosing Jaime Reyes. In the trailer, Jaime ends up going to Cord Industries, it looks like either on a field trip for school or possibly trying to get a job or internship there. Stuff goes down, and one of the scientists there gives Jaime a Big Belly Burger box with the Scarab inside and orders him to protect it. Glad that they have confirmed the existence of the greatest fast food location across time and space with Big Belly Burger, the only thing holding the multiverse together. Back at home, Jaime of course has to take a peek inside the box and finds the alien Scarab, which in a very Ben 10 Omnitrix style chooses him as its host. When you think about it, honestly you can draw a lot of similarities to Ben 10. Kid gets alien device and becomes a superhero. Alien race the device is from comes to Earth to try and take back said alien device. Blue Beetle is literally DC's Ben 10. I love it. Jaime's first merge with the Scarab is quite terrifying, but really well done. The effects look great here, and you can really get a sense of how painful the first transformation was. But when it's all said and done, we get a full look at the Blue Beetle suit, which looks absolutely incredible. It's highly detailed and comic accurate, really feels unique and alien, and unlike anything you would find on Earth or made in a lab. And it's practical Beetle aside from the powers. A physical suit is a very welcome change here when they could have just as easily gone the entirely CG route that we've seen not just from Marvel but DC as well in the past. Next up is a bit of a montage of Jaime learning how to use the suit and what exactly it is capable of. He flies into space, hovers over water, and even creates this energy shield that just slices a bus in half. The scientist from Cord that gave Jaime the Scarab earlier in the trailer is back to assist with the Scarab crash course, explaining a bit of its power set and origin. There's also a tease for our villain, who I believe will end up being Ted Cord's sister, Victoria Cord, who feels that she has a right to the Scarab after her brother's death or possible disappearance. However, I do have a theory that Ted may not actually be dead, as he is currently viewed in the public eye. But what if he's actually out traveling through time with his good buddy Booster Gold? We know there is a Booster Gold project coming later in Chapter 1 of the new DCU, so I wouldn't be surprised if this gets revealed as a big plot twist or post-credit scene. There is also this other guy in the trailer that looks pretty evil if you ask me. Maybe he ends up being Black Beetle, which is basically Blue Beetle's mirror villain and could be our big boss fight of the film, while Victoria Cord is the mastermind pulling the strings. Continuing on, we get some more montage shots of various pieces of action throughout the film, where we also get to see the classic Blue Beetle bug ship, which the family gets to fly in. Whatever you can imagine, I can create, is what the suit says when the trailer comes to a close with an awesome shot of Jaime learning the true power of the Scarab and what he can do with his powers, manifesting this mega sword and doing the dopest sword flip and superhero stance of all time. After the title card, our little stinger at the end brings us to Ted Cord's lab, where we see both his Blue Beetle suit as well as Dan Garrett's on display, and they both look dead-on comic accurate. Jaime throws out a reference to Batman with all of the tech around the lab, and then we get the final line of the trailer, with George Lopez's character saying Batman is a fascist. Hilarious line to end off the trailer, plus we get some reading recommendations for those who want to brush up on their Blue Beetle knowledge before the film's release. So glad that DC has been throwing a few comic recommendations at the end of trailers now. Overall, this film seems like the perfect street-level introduction to the new DC universe, even though there's a lot of cosmic stuff eventually, with the Reach coming for the Scarab. The trailer presents Blue Beetle as a fun summer action movie, jam-packed with heart, humor, stellar effects, and everything else in between. Definitely excited once again for a hero that many view as quite obscure getting a chance to not only shine, but also be very important with that representation aspect, kicking off this brand new chapter of DC films. The director and cast seem to be very proud of the product that they have created, and I know I'll be in the theater opening weekend, hopefully contributing to this movie making over 1 billion Beetle bucks at the box office. So with that said guys, what did you think of our first official trailer for Blue Beetle? Does this get you hyped for the film? Will you be seeing it in theaters? And what theories do you have at the moment? I want to know your thoughts on all of this down there in the comments below. But until next time guys, it's been Tazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video.